One of the biggest and longest standing questions in the history of human thought is whether there are other intelligent life forms within our universe. The SETI Institute is America's only organization wholly dedicated to searching for life in the universe. We are looking for intelligent species, but defining intelligence is not easy task. Now look at this image. You can easily say that he was a genius. But what about this one? See, I'm not comparing Einstein's intelligence with dolphins. I'm just asking you, do you consider dolphins as intelligent species? Probably not, but most scientists agree that dolphins are very intelligent. Before looking for intelligent species, we have to ask, what is intelligence? Intelligence can be defined as the ability to learn and apply knowledge, to understand new or challenging situations, and the ability to think abstractly. Dolphins demonstrate the ability to do all of these things, and most scientists agree that dolphins are very intelligent. They are notoriously talented mimics and quick learners. They demonstrate self-awareness, problem-solving and empathy, innovation, teaching skill, grief, joy and playfulness. Dolphins are also one of the few species who pass the mirror test. By recognizing themselves in mirrors, they indicate physical self-awareness, and research shows they can recognize not just their bodies but also their own thoughts, a property called metacognition. So second question immediately arises, how intelligent are whales and dolphins? It's a complicated question because it's hard to compare a whale or a dolphin's intelligence with our own, mainly as we cannot use the same method to measure both. We cannot ask a dolphin to sit an IQ test or math exam, or challenge a whale to build an engine or design a building. For a start, they don't have hands and they communicate very differently from us. In fact, dolphins seems to have an almost unfathomable alien intelligence. If you want to know more about intelligence, I already made a video on that, link is in the description below. SETI scientists define intelligent life as the ability to create technology. Some of our best technologies emit radio waves, and SETI has concentrated their work on searching for radio waves in the universe. But if we are only searching for life like us, we may be overlooking species like whale or dolphin, who use different kind of communication system. So yes, there is a possibility that we may have intelligent species very close to us, but we may never be able to find them. Maybe because they don't have advanced technology like us, or maybe they have more superior technology than us, which use different kind of technologies to communicate other than radio waves. But maybe in the future, we will think of a better way to search for all possible form of intelligent life. For now, we will have to stick to the kinds of alien that act like us. Life began on Earth at least 3.5 billion years ago, because that is the age of the oldest rock with fossil evidence of life on Earth. We have been beaming out radio signals to the universe for over a century now. Now it hasn't all been good. Luckily, some of them have been trying hard. In 1974, Frank Drake, Carl Sagan and with many other scientists broadcast a message into space aimed at the M13 star cluster. Because M13 was a large and relatively close collection of stars that was available in the sky at the time and place of the ceremony. The message was meant merely as a demonstration of human technological achievement rather than a serious attempt to enter into a conversation with possible extraterrestrials. Because global cluster M13 at which the message was aimed is more than 25,000 light years from Earth. The message traveling at approximately the speed of light will take at least 25,000 years to arrive there. By the time, the core of M13 will no longer be in precisely the same location because of the orbit of the star cluster around the galactic center. Even so, the proper motion of M13 is small, so the message will still arrive near the center of the cluster. That coded message is currently 230 trillion miles from Earth. In it, it lists the elements that make up life here, a DNA helix, a picture of a man, and the radio dish that sent the signal. Anything that receive and decode that message would also know that they weren't alone. If there's other intelligent life out there, hopefully they'd also be curious to know that there are worlds beyond theirs and they'd be looking and listening for us. But why are we even looking for other civilization and spending enormous amount of time, money and resources? Can we afford it? Well, yes. Exploration is something that is essential to us. It is part of who we are. It is among the best things that our species does. How life on Earth formed is very important to us because it could give us better understanding on how life on other planets could form. I already made a video on that, you should definitely watch that, link is in the description below. What are the chances that we will encounter some alien form of life as we explore the galaxy? If the argument about the timescale for the appearance of life on Earth is correct, there ought to be many other stars whose planets have life on them. Some of this stellar system could have formed 5 billion years before the Earth. So why is the galaxy not crawling with self-designed mechanical or biological life form? Why hasn't the Earth been visited or even colonized? By the way, I discount suggestion that UFOs contain beings from outer space, as I think that any visit by aliens would be much more obvious and probably much more unpleasant. So why haven't we been visited? Maybe the probability of life spontaneously appearing is so low that Earth is the only planet in the galaxy or in the observable universe on which it happened. Another possibility is that there was a reasonable probability of forming self-reproducing system like cells, but that most of this form of life did not evolve intelligence. We are used to thinking of intelligence as an inevitable consequence of evolution, but what if it isn't? The anthropic principle should warn us to be wary of such arguments. It is more likely that evolution is a random process, with intelligence as only one of a large number of possible outcomes. It is not even clear that intelligence has any long-term survival value. Bacteria and other single-cell organisms may live on if all other life on Earth is wiped out by our actions. Perhaps intelligence was an unlikely development for a life on Earth from the chronology of evolution, as it took a very long time to go from single cells to multicellular beings, which are a necessary precursor to intelligence. This is a good fraction of the total time available before the sun blows up. So it would be consistent with the hypothesis that the probability for life to develop intelligence is low. In this case, we might expect to find many other life forms in the galaxy, but we are unlikely to find intelligent life. Another way in which life could fail to develop to an intelligent stage would be if an asteroid or comet were to collide with the planet. It is thought the collision of a rather smaller body with the Earth about 66 million years ago was responsible for the extinction of the dinosaur. A few small early mammals survived, but anything as large as human would have almost certainly been wiped out. It is difficult to say how often such collisions occurred, but a reasonable guess might be every 20 million years on average. If this figure is correct, it would mean that intelligent life on Earth has developed only because of the lucky chance that there have been no major collisions in the last 66 million years. Other planets in the galaxy on which life has developed may not have had a long enough collision-free period to evolve intelligent beings. A third possibility is that there is a reasonable probability for life to form and evolve to intelligent beings, but the system becomes unstable and the intelligent life destroys itself. This would be a very pessimistic conclusion, and I very much hope it isn't true. I prefer fourth possibility, that there are other forms of intelligent life out there, but that we have been overlooked. Scientific research programs like SETI aim at finding evidence of civilization beyond Earth. Breakthrough Message is an international competition to create messages that could be read by an advanced civilization. There may be other intelligent civilization capable of communicating with us, and impact on ourselves of contact with other intelligent civilization is now being discussed by many peoples. It seems just perfectly natural that we would not be the only manifestation of the life in the cosmos. Life out there might not look like life on Earth. There might be million other civilizations and they could be a lot smarter than us. We now know without a doubt that the possibility for life are literally innumerable. So what do you think? Are we alone in the universe? Have we already been visited by aliens? Or are aliens living among us? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Peace.